Hi, Camille here. Copycat is back. Today's recipe, I told you the last time that I was going to make another recipe with the Vitel wheat gluten, and today the recipe that I have is amazing. I got this recipe, of course, off the internet, and of course I had to copy it, but I had to change it to make it my own. And what I did was, it was a good recipe, I just needed a little something less and a little something more. And because I've been with spices for so long in my life, I really know what to put in and what not to put in and what to give it that little pizzazz. This recipe is incredible. You guys are going to really love this one. I would suggest this probably not on the hottest day of this year, which today is, but I'm doing this for you so you can enjoy it. This fall is a great time, winter's a good time. I will tell you, my sons, like I've said it many times, one's vegan, one's not, and the one that isn't is totally like, stay away from it, I don't want anything to do with it. But you know, the more he sees both of us, the more he sees how I feel and look and how I have energy and at my age, and basically he starts to come around a little bit, but I don't try to force anything on him. I did have him taste this because he loves gyros, however you say it, and I thought I'd have him as a guinea pig because he's not vegan. And not only does he love it, but he actually wants me to, when he gets married, he wants me to make this for the vegan people in his wedding. He really likes it. And he was over yesterday and realized I was making some, and he wanted to know what I was going to be doing with it because he really likes it. So let's get busy, and like I said, as I go, I'm going to explain everything to you. It's really not as hard as it looks. It's just time consuming. So this is another recipe. Don't try to do this when you come home from work. First of all, it does have to set. It has to set overnight in the refrigerator. So let's get busy and I'll show you what I got. Okay, so first of all, of course, we're going to do the Vital wheat, and that's what we're going to be using. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in more of the liquid base, and I'll probably put this one in last. You're going to use white beans. I've got it here in the grinder, just kind of in the small baby Cuisinart. Just kind of chop it, grind it. Don't mix it where it's like hummus, a smooth paste. You don't want to do that. Just kind of get it where you've got it chopped up a little bit. And I had already chopped it for a little bit, so you can see basically how it looks. It's kind of just chopped. So you're going to put that in. You're going to use a cup. You can do white beans, any kind of white beans you want. I like candlelian beans the most. I use them for just about everything. It's a more heartier bean. It's a good bean. I even use them to make hummus sometimes. That's another episode, but my hummus is amazing. All right, so now I'm going to get rid of this oil. First of all, I'm going to pull my sleeves up because the one thing you don't want to do is ever wear a blouse like this cooking. But if you want to look cute, then you wear a blouse like this. But don't do it if you're cooking because I've already gotten my sleeves in the oil, and you know what that's going to be like trying to get it off. So first rule, don't wear a blouse like this. I'm going to put the third cup of oil in, just a canola oil. And then you're going to put in, okay, this is going to seem a little monotonous because there's a lot of spices, but you need spices. I mean, if you've ever had a gyro before, I haven't because I'm vegan, but my sons have, and my sons used to own a restaurant that they served gyros and gyros, however, and they had it on a spindle. And I know you guys know this if you had one. And you actually could probably do this. It would be kind of cute to do this. People would never know. They do have a lot of spice in them. So when you're using this Vital wheat, it looks just kind of like a gyro, and amazingly, it tastes. My sons and my husband have told me that it tastes, they can't tell the difference. So you're gonna love this. You can give it to anybody, they're not gonna know the difference. But it's got a lot of spices, so don't panic and don't freak out. You're gonna have to get them to make this recipe. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to try to keep this in order because there's a lot of them. Everything pretty much is a tablespoon. It seems like a lot, but not for this. So you're going to use a tablespoon of sage, and it's ground sage. I suppose you could use fresh if you want to use fresh sage. I do have fresh sage outside, but I prefer the ground in this. So you're going to use a tablespoon. I need a little bit more. All right. Do keep in mind you don't put extra spices in because you think you love it. Don't do that. This is all you're going to need in here. You can eliminate some things, like if you don't like salt or some things, but not very many of these spices you can eliminate. So everything pretty much is a tablespoon. We're going to do, let's see, where's my, okay, we got oregano. Now my oregano is from my garden. And so because it's so fresh, and even though I've dried it, I'm going to take, and it's about a tablespoon. You can go a little bit over on this because it's out of your garden, it's not dried. So I just take and rub it, and it's about a tablespoon. So you're going to do a tablespoon of that, and let's try to keep these where I already did them. And you're going to do a tablespoon of rosemary. You know that you already can see where this is going. It's going to be really good. And everything pretty much is a tablespoon, except for the salt and pepper and this product right here is incredible. This is, you can order online. You can get them in Mediterranean stores, but it's called Vegeta. I believe I said it right, Vegeta. This you can use in every recipe you have. It's like a seasoned salt, but it's got a lot of flavoring. You can make soups with it and everything. Incredible, incredible product. And you get a lot for your money, you really do. And I usually put it in a smaller container and use it. We're going to use, now cumin is a pretty strong spice. I like cumin, a lot of people like cumin. Keep this at a tablespoon. Because you don't want everything to, you don't want any one spice to overpower the other one. You just want it to work, and it will work. So, and then you're going to use smoked paprika. I think I've used this before. It's like the best thing you could ever get. I use it a lot, so I do get a big container of it. And you're going to use, again, another tablespoon of that. And you're going to use, now you're going to use both garlic and onion powder. You're going to use both. And you're going to use again, a tablespoon of each. We're going to keep that, we're going to keep it real consistent. Pretty easy. This is an amazing, amazing product. When I get done making this, you will see, and then a lot of times, I don't know, people like to use, they like to use like either pita bread or the Gyro bread. You can use either one, and I'll show you that. Okay, so now I'm going to, I got the sage, rosemary, all that, red pepper flakes. A tablespoon is not too much. You're going to think it is, but it really isn't. You need that to make this product. It just gives it what it needs. And one of the things too, on this Vital wheat gluten, you can actually use, I have made this gluten-free. Do everything the same, just use gluten-free flour. It's got a little bit different texture, and if you're gluten-free, you wouldn't notice the difference anyways because you're never going to eat this. But it's good. It's still good, and you can use it. So you people that are gluten-free, don't feel like you're going to be left out. Let's see. Now you're going to put a half a tablespoon of black pepper. So we'll put a half. You can see that spices are a must. And you're going to use a teaspoon of, is this my teaspoon? Yes. Of salt. And a teaspoon of this. This is what I was talking about. This Vegeta. This is really good. I put it in soups. I use it for everything. I really do. It's really good. You can see the color of it. It really gives flavor to anything you hone in on. Give it some of that. Because it really, in fact, if you don't want to use salt, use some of that instead. Even though it's got a little salt in it, it's not as salty as salt. So it really works. All right, so you're going to use a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of that. And then you're going to use a tablespoon of soy sauce. So let's get a tablespoon of soy sauce. And there we go. All right, so now we got everything in here except for, of course, the flour. Now, the one thing you're going to do is, and I pretty much got it boiling, but I'm going to turn it back on and get it good and boiling, is you're going to use 2 cups of vegetable broth. Use any kind of vegetable broth you want. There's some you can actually make yourself. There's a paste, and with water. You can use any one you want, just make sure there's no animal products in. And again, Always read the back of the labels. Make sure they don't have any processed stuff in there and some stuff, weird names or too many items. Don't use that one. So you're going to use that, and once you put your flour in here, you're got to be quick. Anytime you're working with the Vital, you definitely got to be quick. So we're going to do that. I'm going to make sure this is heating up, and it is. It's getting there. And I'm going to put this in. You're going to put a 1 3/4 cups of the Vital. So let's do that. And then you're going to go 3/4, so don't go quite as much. Okay. I got that. Now we're going to, now you got to be quick. I know you guys really need to see this part because this part's important. When you get done doing this, you're going to wrap this, and I'm going to make sure that you can see this. You're going to wrap this like a roll because you're going to have it like just like a roll, and you must wrap it twice. So I use like just a regular foil that's not real heavy duty on the first wrap. You can use both if you want, and then the heavy duty one on the outside because you are going to steam this for like an hour, and I'm going to go over that with you on the steaming thing. I have one of the things I do want to go over with you on the steam pot, because you're going to be frustrated on the steaming thing. You want to, I got this on Amazon. There's a steam pot that is this color, and it looks just like this. It's a little smaller, but it has this inside of it. Not this, this. And the bad thing about this, what didn't work for me, I mean, I'm sure it's a great steamer, and what it didn't work for me was when you put this in the pot, it goes all the way down to the bottom. Well, you've got to steam for an hour. So I made up my own pot. My husband bought me this one. And then I take and I put this inside, and I put the water up to this, right up to this. And then I set this on top, and you'll see. And then I put my roll in here. Now you can steam for an hour without ever worrying about the water going out, because that's the worst thing about steamers. Everybody will say the same thing, and everybody's going to say, yeah, but you can't steam for an hour without the water going out. Then you might forget, yeah, you can watch it, and yeah, you can keep putting water in it, but you know what? People forget. When you forget, it burns the bottom, and it actually gives a burnt taste to anything. So trust me, this is the way to go. I've done it all. It works. You'll be using it forever on everything that you steam because you never have to worry again. All right, so now we got this boiled, and we're going to do some real quick action here. This is my vegetable broth. It's 2 cups. And like I said, these recipes are always going to be online so you can see them. This will be your favorite by far. And then again, I told you, don't ever try to do this when it's hot outside, even though I have air conditioning, because you have to turn the oven on afterwards for about 50 minutes. So I'm just going to mix it up, and it's going to look kind of sloppy to you, but got to be fast because it's kind of, this stuff kind of works like dough in a way, but not dough, and maybe silly putty. I think that's the only way I can explain it, because it's kind of stretchy. And then you're going to just mix it up the best you can, get it all, make sure all the flour is mixed up in there. And then you're going to, don't worry about how it looks, just take this piece of paper, you know, make sure you got enough. When you first pull it out, just more is better. So just take this, go like this. I'll get this, make sure that you can see how I'm doing this, because this is kind of important. This was kind of tricky when I first did this. I took it and I went like this, and then when I wrapped it, I didn't really wrap it like I should have, so it didn't really turn out good. But you can see you get quite a bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of, you got a blob like that. You're going to kind of go in like this, and you're going to just work it. Just work it. Just work it back. Push it, work it, however you want to. It's hot. So, unless you have rubber gloves on or something, you can't just really get in there with your hands. You really want to just work it. So just kind of work it like that, and just kind of roll it. Just roll it. Just roll it. Just roll it. All right, you can see how it's starting to shape up. Just roll it. Maybe it might take you a couple times. Now you got some oozing out. Don't worry about it. Just push it back in, push your aluminum foil, because you're going to have a heavy duty end here in a minute, and we're going to twist it. So kind of smack it, and you want this shorter anyways. You want this a little bit shorter because it is too long to put in your pan. So you're going to go like that, you're going to go like this, and you're going to kind of just shape it like a log. Push it and shape it. All right? And it's still pretty hot. So now we're going to just leave it alone for a minute. Get yourself a nice big piece of heavy duty foil. This is well worth it, trust me. You're going to love this whole thing. So you're going to put it in. And now you're going to do this tight. Make sure you do it tight because it's got a little ways to go from here on out. You're just going to roll it. And what happens is when you're steaming it, the steaming makes it expand. And it expands, and not only does it expand, and now you're going to twist it. Not only does it expand, but it also makes it take form. And it forms right into a really, looks like a tight roll of lunch meat or something type of thing. But it's amazing. All right, so now you can see you have these little ends that are like this. Just push them in, and you're going to take, and you're going to put them in this pan right here. Okay? So you're going to put them in, make it work, make it fit. Do your thing, do your magic, it'll fit. The more you squeeze it in, the better, the tighter, the better. All right, so now it's doing its thing. You can see that, way cool. You're going to have your water in here. You're going to have that boiling before you even put this in. Make sure it's boiling. And you're going to put that in there, and you're going to set this right on top. And you know what? Make sure you turn it down. Look, don't have it so high. Just have it on like medium high. Just basically set it and forget it. Set your timer for an hour. You're good. The water's not going to burn out. Then you're going to take it out when it's done, and you're going to put it on a cookie sheet, and you're going to bake it 350 for 25 minutes. Pull it out, roll it over, bake it another 25 minutes. Always set your timer. It's done. Take it out. Don't mess with it. Don't open it. Leave it, and even though you're going to want it, because you're going to want to taste it, because it's really good. Leave it alone. Let it completely cool, and then put it in the refrigerator overnight. And I'm going to show you in a minute what it's like. But first, everybody knows a gyro, whatever, however you say it, always needs a sauce. And what sauce is that? That is a Tariji sauce. I believe that's how they say it. Tariji sauce. So I'm going to make that for you. And you know what? And when you're vegan, you can't have the regular one. You have to have a vegan one. And I know how to do that. This one I made up. So I use, once again, I call it vegan mayo. It's vegan dressing. I use that. And I use vegan yogurt. Now you can there's a bunch of them out there. This is good. I do like the SO. It's called SO. Make sure you always use plain yogurt, not vanilla or something with sugar in it. You can't. This has to be plain because you don't want it to taste like that. You want it to taste like the real deal. All right, then you're going to take, this is what I do. This is from Pampered Chef. This is kind of cute. You guys, a lot of times I don't use it because I just take a knife and pound it and chop it up. But because you want this really fine, you're going to put a clove of garlic in there. And this is really nice for this. And the cool thing is it's got this little brush. It's the cutest little thing. And it will go right through these holes and clean this up. It's amazing. It will clean this up. Little brush is so cute. I'm telling you, my hair is so thin, I could almost use this brush for my hair. It's the cutest thing, and it works incredible on here. This whole thing works. So when you go like this and you squeeze it, you can see, but you get a lot finer and a lot smoother garlic. You can see how that garlic is. It's incredible. It really is. And the cleanup's real easy on this. And this Pampered Chef garlic press is pretty amazing little thing. And when you take it out, just go like that and pop it out. It'll pop out with that brush. You're gonna put that in. I have a cucumber, a whole cucumber. It doesn't matter what size, whatever you want. The cucumber has to be peeled. It also has to be scraped out all the seeds. Scrape the seeds out. Chop it up. You've got the cucumber in there. This also has to set overnight. So now you're going to take and you're going to put in your spices. So you're going to put in dill, and you're going to put in a teaspoon of dill. We're going to do a teaspoon of dill. Where are you, teaspoon? And that's you. Okay. So we'll do, you can come out. All right, do a teaspoon of dill. I like dill. And I can go a little bit more on my dill. Teaspoon of dill, you're going to go a tablespoon of olive oil. A tablespoon of olive oil. And you're going to do your lemon, you're going to do a tablespoon of lemon juice. Like I said, I always squeeze my lemon juice and I stick it in this little bottle. It works good for me. I like because I have it ahead of time. So you're going to have a tablespoon of lemon juice. There. And you're going to just use your judgment on the salt and pepper. It's just basically a dash of salt and pepper. So I'm just going to go a little. And salt and pepper. And maybe, let's put a little bit in there. A little teaspoon here. Salt and pepper. All right. Now, you're going to, for the good stuff, you're going to put a half a cup of vegan yogurt and a half a cup of the vegan mayo, or spread, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to show you how this is all put together. Very amazing and very cool. So you're going to go like this, and you're going to get this, get a half a cup. And you can use this sauce, this Tariji sauce, on anything, sandwiches, dips, whatever. It's incredible. It does last in the refrigerator for a little while. Not forever, but it won't last long, period. Once you have the gyro meat, none of it's going to last. Gyro meat's definitely not going to last. Everybody's going to want it. And you're going to have to wind up making more than one. So prepare yourself to have extra spare time, because you're definitely going to need it. All right, so you're going to use it. You're going to get a half of mayo. And you're going to mix it up. And you're going to put it in a jar or whatever, or leave it in a bowl or whatever you want to do. And you're going to leave it overnight, just like you're going to leave your gyro meat overnight. And you're going to have it. Now you can, my cucumbers are chopped a little bit bigger because I really like my cucumbers bigger on my stuff. You can chop them less, smaller. You can actually put them in the Cuisinart if you want. That's up to you, but I like them a little bit chunkier, and that's really up to you. So those things are done. Now I'm going to show you the most incredible thing that you're going to love. So you're going to take a frying pan, and just for a few seconds, you are going to saute. There it is, the gyro meat. It's amazing. And that's what it looks like when it's all done. So you're going to saute, and make sure you shave it really thin, because that's the way really gyro meat is anyways. But it's better. Everything's better thinner when you're layering things, especially if you're layering it on, on a gyro bread, which I am doing. And then I always take, and this is the Tariji sauce. Amazing, and it tastes very good. I always season my gyro meat with seasoned salt, just a little bit. You don't have to go overboard. And you're just going to let that heat up a little bit on each side. While that's going, we're going to make you get a plate, and we're going to actually make one. So you're going to put some, and this stuff gets really thick too, by the way. Put some sauce on the bottom. You want to put like a little bit of sauce, because you want to put a little bit more after you get the meat done. And then you're going to just take your lettuce and you're going to layer it. Depends on how, it's just up to you. How thick do you want these? I mean, you can make them as thick as you want. I personally don't want a real thick one, but some people like it really, the bigger the better. So I'm going to put mostly the meat on there. And some people like mostly the vegetables. So however you want it, you can do it that way. But you're just going to saute it for a few minutes. You don't want, if you like it crispy, do it crispy. But if you want it more, it's more like a meat texture right now. If you want it a little bit crispier, you can do that. Then you're going to put tomatoes on there. You're going to line your tomatoes up. You're going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on this, just a tiny bit. All right, and then and then you're going to put red onions. So you take your red onions, and that's, you know, this is all you like this, whatever you like. But this is what makes if you're going to get a regular gyro or gyro, however you say it, and you're going to get one, this is pretty much how they make it. This is exactly how they make it. And so when I shut that off, that's pretty much good to cook. And then you're going to just lay it on here like this. This is how they do it. And I'm going to kind of overload it. And then Bernard, when he's eating it, he can just hope that he doesn't get it all over. Because that's the way it goes. And then I'm going to put just a little bit more sauce on it, just for taste. And that's really it. And that's how it goes. I might take and put, see these sleeves are getting on my nerves again. Okay, so basically this is how it looks. I'm going to put up, I don't think that's going to work. I think it's too full. But, I know. Alright, so we're going to leave it like that. I'm not going to get that to go through. And basically, this is how your gyro looks. It's got all the meat, it's got all the tomatoes, the onions. You really need all those things. And this is how it is. And it's all done for you. And you have your gyro. I hope you enjoy these recipes. Like I said, if you ever have questions, you know, all you have to do is email me to Camille@Camille'sCopycat.com. You know, not everything turns out perfect the first time. You know, always take a deep breath. You know, you have that breath. You know, every day you get up, you have a breath. Enjoy it. It's a gift. So enjoy your breath. Take a deep breath. And if it doesn't just turn out, nobody cares. You know, you got your whole life. Keep trying. You will make it right. And when you do, it's perfect. And you'll enjoy it. And so will your family. Thank you and goodbye.